What is up, guys, and welcome to another league racing video on the channel. And today this is round 8 for the Austrian Grand Prix in Summit League Racing, and this is a huge race for the context of the season because we've officially reached the halfway point of the season. Round 8 is upon us in Austria in the Styrian Hills, and we are looking to end the first half of the season with a strong result. And as you can see, the standings here, we are 23 points behind SLR Czech in 3rd place ahead of Arbon, and in the Constructors' Championship we are currently 4th, looking to get closer to McLaren. So far the first half of the season has been a little bit mixed. We've had 3 podium finishes this season, and 2 of them have been on the channel earlier. We got a 3rd one in Imola in the 2nd round of the season. But we're looking to end this first half of the season with another strong result to prove why we are looking to fight for the championship. As we skip to Q1, it was quite a scruffy session here because I was rushing to eat some food literally halfway through Q1. So this is why we're going to be doing the 1 lap with just under 4.5 minutes to go as we cross the line, and we do a 8.44. No, 3.844 as we go second fast. I have no idea what happened there, but there you go. We get through into Q2 despite the shaky session, and look how close the field is in Q1. Less than 3/10 covering the first 14 cars, which is absolutely insane. It really goes to show that even if, yeah, this is a shorter track with a shorter lap time, but it just goes to show how competitive this league is. It really is incredible to be racing alongside so many quick people. So it's insane. But we move into Q2 now, and we're going to try our luck again on the medium tyres. We're going to try and use the alternate strategy if we can get through on this tyre. So, as you know, using the medium tyres never really goes well for me in Q2. We always have to end up doing an insurance lap, and then we have to end up starting on the soft tyres. So we're going to try and make get a good lap in it, but we make a little bit of a mistake. We take a bit too much curb through turn 5 there. I think through turn 6 actually. So through turn 6 we took a bit too much curb, but we're still 3/10 up on ETSR Jensen's lap time here as we're coming through towards turns 9 and 10. Very easy to invalidate at these corners, and it will literally ruin the lap, but we get a little bit of oversteer on the exit of the last corner. But across the line we go. It is a 4.0, just under 2/10 of what we did on the soft tyre in Q1. So you can see that the track is starting to rubber up as the qualifying session goes on, but we are going to have to use the soft tyres just to make sure we get through to Q3. As you can see, we are down in 8th place ahead of Tumen and Jam, and behind Arbon and Levy King. And we're going purple at the minute in the first 2 sectors, so this could be a very good way to end Q2 here and secure our place into the top 10 shootout for another race in a row. So as we go to the last corner, we've been validated at the last corner. And we've got this to next lap invalidated, and we do a 3.7, which would have given us a top 5. So now we're in trouble. We are in big trouble. We don't have enough time to go again, but thankfully, we've scraped our way through with that 1 lap on the medium tyres with 15 thousandths of a second safe at an SLR Quattro. So we got away with it. We just got away with it at the end of Q2, and here we are in Q3. We're going to use the same set of tyres as we just did at the end of Q2, so therefore we have 1 more fresh set of tyres to use for the final lap of the session. So as you know, we're on the medium tyres now, so we're going to try and use just the 1 set that we might be using in the race as well. So as we go through the last corner, we don't invalidate this time around, and here we go then. Across the line we go. It's another 3.8 as we go P4, nearly 3/10 behind FRA Ads, who has won the last 2 races, which is an incredible form from him. But here we go then. We're going to prepare for the final few laps of qualifying. We're going to have a little bit earlier just to make sure we have enough time for 1 last run in case this one goes wrong. So here we go then. We're going to try and start this lap then off towards turn 1. We're going to heavy braking into 4th gear. On the exit though, we take too much curb, and just like that, we've invalidated the lap time. But thankfully, we have enough time to go again. We compose ourselves. We've got time for 1 more lap, and we're going to try and go for pole position here, or try and get as high as we can, because I don't think we really have the outright pace to go for pole position. So here we go then. We're going to talk you through the lap as always. Now, here we go. We're going to run this back. A little bit of PTSD as we go through turn 1. This time, We do not invalidate, but we get a little bit too much on the curb. That big yellow sausage curb on the exit. So we're 300 down on the lap at the minute. As we go through sector 1, we're 600 down on SLR Czech, the championship leader, who has returned in this race as well. I forgot to mention, we lose the rear end a bit at the exit at turn 3. But yeah, we're just half a tenth ahead of the Delta here. It's not looking like a great lap. My PB around this track, I think this was on GP mode, it was. I think it was a 3.5 practicing with other league racers in this league as well. So we're capable of getting top 3. Or maybe the front row, but we're not really showing it once again in qualifying because we're just ahead of Czech's lap time. We are a tenth and a half up as Elite Risks does a 3.8, which is absolutely insane. But here we go. What are we going to do on this lap as we come through the final 2 corners? 5th gear, chuck the car in, we don't invalidate. And here we go. Across the line we go. It's P4, and we've absolutely smashed into SLR Czech, who was on the racing line at the exit of the last corner. And yeah, a bit of a weird way to end the session. I mean, there was nothing I could do there. The AI just didn't turn at all. But yeah, P4 behind FRA ads. As we're going to check the strategy now. And we're going to go from the mediums to the softs. And we're going to go to lap 20 and maybe box for the softs. Very easy medium soft strategy. So, and crucially, we're behind ads, who is also on the medium. So he's going to be our main rival in today's race. So let's see what we can do from 4th on the grid as we're preparing for the start of this race. I want to raise your attention to Levy King behind us in P5 because I think he might have internet issues. As you can see here, we're getting ready for the grid and look at that. That was lag. So we're going to have to be aware of him as we get started for the Austrian Grand Prix, and we are underway. The lights go out after a very short period of time for waiting for them as we're going towards turn 1. It's not a great start. Ads pulls away from us, but Levy King goes wide. So that's job done. We keep 4th place and Ads goes wide at the exit of turn 1. And now we are side by side with our rival towards turn 3. What can we do here? We're not trying to use too much ERS on the first lap. We go down the inside. There's a little bit of contact, but we're given the space on the outside line. But that is the effect. Look at the effect of the outside line. He gets so much better traction through that corner, and I knew he was using ERS there just to keep the position, so we stick behind him for now. It's only lap 1. It's a 36 lap race, and this race is mainly about survival because Austria is quite chaotic in league racing. Racing standards kind of just go in the bin a little bit, so we're taking our time here. But as you can see, halfway through lap 2 now. Ads is inevitably pulled away. He's very, very quick, so it's a bit of an effort to keep up with him. But we're just trying to keep calm, trying to save the ERS, try and save the tyres because we are going quite long in this race compared to the guys around us. But as we go through the last corner, we get our first warning. After 2 laps, we get our first warning of the race as DRS is enabled on lap 3. So, yeah, not a great start. We have to be careful of the track limits. It's very easy to exceed track limits. As we got to the end of lap 4, we do a 6.4. We've managed to catch up a little bit towards ads because the 2 in front, Elite Risks and Jitto, are fighting each other for the race lead here as we go down the straight towards turn 3 through the kink of turn 2 as Elite Risks and Jitto are going side by side through the turn 3 as yeah, we need to make sure we can keep up with these guys. We need to cash in case ads takes advantage of these 2 taking each other out or something like that. So we need to make sure that we can stay as close as we can to the Alpine. But it looks like Jitto has taken the lead of the race ahead of Elite Risks in 2nd place. And yeah, we cut to lap 6, and as you can see, we're half a second down on the Delta. So at this point, I'm really not happy with the pace. It's really, really slow. As yeah, the DRS, it's a DRS train here, guys. I'm not even gonna lie to you. As we're having a little bit of a look here on ads through turn 3, and yeah, not much we can do here. We're just chilling out here, just saving as much ERS as we can, and just maintaining position and making sure we don't lose time to Jensen, who's right behind us. As we cut to lap 8, we are still in this DRS train. As Risk, I think he's going to try and move on Jitto. No, he's not. As again, we're getting really close to ads, but ahead of us. As yeah, we're telling Jeff to give us a few updates. But now here we go, side by side between the 2 soft runners in front of us. As ads goes round the outside of Jitto through turn 3, and look at that! He's made it work, for God's sake. I don't know how Jitto's going to fight back here. They're still side by side, going into turn 4. and I think Jitto might have to give this one up. The soft tyres might be going off at this stage, but I think he's just held on to that position, and we're trying to cash in here, but we're not close enough through that corner, and we have to stick in 4th place. But things are getting really, really tense now. They're heating up at the front of the field. As again, look at the delta. We are a second off the pace here. As we go through turn 1, Ads makes a mistake. We tap the back of him, and look at that. Levy King slips through to take 4th place, and now we're under pressure for the McLaren as well of the championship leader Czech. As we go through turn 3, we're trying to defend, but look at the Williams. He ghosts, and we can't drive through him at all. And we're still fighting Czech here. So ironically, we are trying to get a position, and we've ended up losing a place as well. So now we've had a car put in between me and our closest medium rival. So I am absolutely fuming as Ads goes for a move on Jitto through turn 9. He has no fear, this guy. They're still side by side through the last corner. He gets the move done, and I'm seeing this, and I'm fuming. We're using all the ERS to get past the Williams, the laggy Williams. As yeah, we're trying to just get this position. We're not going to take a risk going into turn 1 as Jitto is really struggling on the soft tyres, and we're looking to get past him as well. Again, using the ERS and looking to get into a slipstream here, looking for the move at turn 3, but we're not close enough. We're not going to take a risk here. There's absolutely no point as Czech goes down the inside of Levy King for P5. So it is all kicking off between the top 6 drivers. I think any one of us could actually win this race. It's that close between the top 6. So great to see as Jitto again is struggling through turn 1 on lap 12, and now this is our opportunity to make the move. We're using the ERS once again, and we draw to the outside line, and Ads, look at this, we might pull synchronized overtakes. Ads gets the job done before the corner. We nearly hit elite risks, but we get the outside line, and look at the traction we get out of there. Another nice move on one of our championship rivals. We did it to Czech in Baku, and now we have mugged off Jitto round the outside in Austria, and we are up into 3rd place, and now there's only one car in between us. Elite Risks is struggling on the soft tyres. The medium tyres are clearly becoming the quicker tyre at this stage of the race, and we're going to carry on pushing as much as we can to keep up with the Alpine. So, on to lap 13. Nothing has changed yet, but we are crucially still in the DRS. The DRS train, we've managed to gain those 2 places back, so we can carry on pushing here. But watch this, out of the corner. So as we cut through turn 7, and to spun from the lead. The man who's won 2 consecutive races has spun out of the lead in the Austrian Grand Prix. So I knew at this moment, I was shocked to see that happen, because the man looked flawless through all the other times we were racing him, as Jitto, Levy King and Ham all pit for the medium tyres. I knew this was my opportunity to take the lead of this race and carry on pushing until we make the pit stop. So here we go then. DRS, we're not using overtake. There's no point. It's an easy move on a man who's struggling on their soft tyres. And there you go. The move is done. And we have taken the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix on lap 14. So now we have all the clean air we can use to push on and try and make this alternate strategy work as we got to the end of lap 15. As, yeah, we're coming through now, looking to set some pace as Elite Risks pits for the medium tyres 2 laps later than Ham and Czech as well. So those guys are going to be on much fresher tyres. So it's up to us to make sure we can keep pushing and set some good pace in clean air, as SLR Jam is 5 seconds behind us. So we're definitely quicker than him at this stage of the race. But unfortunately, guys, I can confirm now, the pace just wasn't really there. As look, you can see there, we do a 7.1, nearly a second down on our delta on our best lap, and I think that's because of the effect of DRS. As you can see on the mini-map, there's a massive train between a couple of cars there as Barlow retires from the session. We cut to lap 18 now, and again it's another 7.1, nearly 9/10 slower than the PB that we did early in the Grand Prix, as we put a lap on our teammate SLR Van Dorn, and he ended up retiring as well. So once again, we are the lone Aston Martin runner, but we're not really setting any pace at the minute. We've got 6 seconds to money bag now, and they're fighting each other for a P2 on the road, but the pace really isn't there. We do a 7.6, and on this lap, we're going to try and box for the soft, but I make a key decision here. I decide to go on for another lap. The orange icon has popped up, so our tyres are going off. but I think there's still some pace left in these tyres as we cross line again at 7.5 and lap 21 now. And this is where we really should have pitted, because as you can see, Ads, Czech and Elite Risk all round out the top 5, and they're 8 seconds behind us. So we don't really have a big advantage, and that's when we should have boxed. And now on lap 22, we're finally going to box. But at this point, Czech is 7 seconds behind us, so I think we've just managed to lose a whole heap of time here to the guys we were fighting before. But anyway, in the box we go, and we're going to go onto the soft compound tyres to the end of the race. I know at this point, we've probably made a mistake going out for 1 or 2 extra laps because, you know, we're not getting any DRS, and those guys were probably in a DRS train gaining multiple tenths of a second on each straight. So it's up to us to fight back in the last 14 laps as Jam does the fastest lap. As we come out ahead of Shot Metal in the Mercedes, he's got 3 seconds of penalties. We're still on 1 warning as we're looking to catch up to the front runners. So as we cut to lap 24 now, we're really pushing on, saying a green first sector. But this is where things start to unravel for us. As you can see, well, at this point, we're on 1 warning. As we come through turn number 6, we get a screen freeze there, and we lose a bit of time, as we're only now a 10th up on the Delta, and we're using a lot of VRS as we get another warning for track limits at turn 7. So this is not looking good at the minute. We have to be careful now. And remember, we were using a lot of ERS on this lap, and we've only improved by 0.4 of a second. And this is where I was pretty annoyed, and that leads to us getting a penalty. You didn't see it, but I can confirm I cut the corner. I cut the corner quite badly, and that is a 3-second time penalty on our heads, and we've got no ERS to work with. So at this point, I just knew realistically winning the race was out of the question, as yeah, we skipped a couple of laps. Nothing much is happening here. We're trying to reel these guys in, but yeah, nothing much is happening here as we do a 6.1 half second off with 3.8 behind Levy King. Czech has a 3-second time penalty, and that is just making me more annoyed as we could have benefited from without the penalties. We make a mistake out of turn 1. The frustration is really manifesting itself on the track. Ads is 3 seconds behind us as well, with 3 seconds of penalties in P7, so we're not even going to gain that much in terms of penalties here. So at this point, I'm really feeling like we've missed an opportunity to take advantage here. As we got to the end of lap 31, Levy King has 6 seconds worth of penalties, so the maximum we're going to get out of this race is P5, which sucks quite a lot. It really does suck, but Czech gets a penalty on the next lap, on lap 33. We are just keeping it on the track because we're going to try and get that penalty removed for the screen freeze earlier on lap 24. So we're going to carry on pushing. We are gaining on these guys. The gap's 2.4, 2.3 now. As we cut to lap 35, it goes wrong again for us as we get a 4th warning, and that means we cannot get the penalty removed even if we wanted to and beg the stewards. So effectively, that's race over, and I was fuming. We're going to carry on pushing anyway. We've got no ERS to our name whatsoever, and the gap is 2.4 seconds. I mean, I was expecting more fighting between the front runners, but that just wasn't happening, and that was making it even harder for us to gain on the medium runners. So we cut to the end of the race now. The gap, we got the gap down to 1.9 seconds to Levy King and Czech ahead of us, but it's not going to be enough at all as Jitto overtook Elite Risk on the last lap to win the race, and we make a huge mistake. The last corner, we cross the line, and we still get P4, and we hit the back of the Williams to cap off a very frustrating 2nd stint of the race. So there you go. That was the Austrian Grand Prix. When it all unfolded, when we decided to stay out for 2 extra laps and pit on lap 22 as Jitto celebrates his 2nd win of the season and his 1st since Spain as well. So he's really made himself a title contender here, with Czech finishing just only in 5th place. But yeah, what can I say? The penalty didn't make a difference for us, because even if we got it removed, we would have still finished 4th. So yeah, Ads finished 8th, and he ended up getting promoted to the McKeown division, which is the top division in SLR. So we don't have to worry about him anymore, and I wish him the best in McKeown. As yeah, in the standings, we're 20 points behind. We gained on Czech, but not that much after Jitto won the race. So it's an uphill climb to the front of the field, as yeah, in the constructors were tied with Ferrari as well. So that is going to be the end of today's video, guys. A frustrating race. The next one is going to be Silverstone in our home race. But feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more league racing content. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.